The Sorrows of Young Werther. One of the most famous and infamous works in the history of literature, The Sorrows of Young Werther, was Goethe's first work of narrative art, published in 1774. The novel was perfectly timed, capturing the European imagination with its portrayal of a dangerously sensitive youth driven to suicide. It was an immediate success and launched an entire literary genre, storm and stress, as well as the career of the modern West's first literary celebrity, Goethe. The novel was a sensation in its time. There was even a Werther perfume for a while, Eau-de Werther, and has continued to inspire such works as Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, in which the monster learns to be human by reading Werther, and Ulrich Plenzdorf's 1973 novel, The New Sufferings of Young W. It not only helped to create romanticism, but also provided a vocabulary for adolescence turmoil that has stayed with us to this day. Famously, the novel is somewhat autobiographical. In 1772, when Goethe was an obscure young legal apprentice living in Wetzlar, he developed an impossible passion for Charlotte Buff, who was engaged to a friend of his, Castner. The ensuing triangle proved almost impossibly painful for him, and Goethe himself explored the possibility of suicide before moving past his infatuation with Charlotte. Meanwhile, an acquaintance of Goethe's named Jerusalem, while in a similar situation of infatuation with a married woman, shot himself. Jerusalem's story fascinated Goethe, and he imagined his acquaintance's sufferings to his own experiences, coming up with Werther. Goethe treated the writing of the short novel as a cathartic exercise, later writing that he felt refreshed, as if he had just given a full confession and was entitled to a new life upon its completion. However, Goethe's novel was to have an impact disproportionate to its size. What was closure for him opened a wound in Europe's collective consciousness. Werther's infamy directly stems from the public response to the novel. Not only was the book a bestseller, but it inspired a rash of imitative suicides. Goethe himself, in his later years, spoke of the effect of the book, comparing it to a small spark that exploded a mine full of gunpowder. He writes in his autobiography, "My life, poetry and truth. The explosion Werther caused was so far-reaching because the young people of that era had already undermined themselves, and the shock was so great because everyone could now burst forth with his own exaggerated demands, unsatisfied passions, and imaginary sufferings." Goethe's era, the late 18th century, was primed for his little book. The energies of youth at that time was bored by a span of relative peace, stifled by the meticulous ideas of classicism, and excited by the new philosophical language of subjectivity and the morbid poetry of English literature. The genre Sturm and Drang single-mindedly pursues the miseries following from subjectivity, relishing the language of feeling and passion, even while it explores the limits of such language. And Werther is one of the first and most famous examples of this kind of literature. And actually, I have a new idea. I encourage you to listen. If you listen more than, let's say, 2 or 3 times, I actually encourage you listen without the article, without reading the article. This is a good way because there are so many vocabularies, and this might be a good way to train your listening ability. You can try next time. But sorry for my performance is not under your expectation, because I need to practice and I may not read it very well. So hopefully it's still useful for you. And a little explanation for this article. Sorrow, the sorrow of young Werther. Sorrow means sadness. The book, the Chinese name doesn't really reflect the true meaning of the book, because these sorrows, however, we try to translate it to trouble or things really bother Werther. We translate to 烦恼. However, sorrows means really deep sadness. So 翻成忧伤 probably is better. And the first paragraph, narrative art, means more like a diary. Time, perfectly timed. Here is PP, means imperfect time. Means at the time, people, adolescents in Europe, they needed, they demanded this kind of article. When it came out, it perfectly fitted their need. Okay, and portray means depict, means describe. So portrayal, description, European imagination of suicides, and especially for young adults. Okay, and dangerous sensitive youth. Here means Werther. Sensitive means sentimental, full of feelings, and driven to suicides, forced to suicide. Means no other choice but suicide. Genre, I explained. The pronunciation is so different. Don't say genre. Genre, kind. Okay, Sturm and Drang. This is German words. These are German words. It means, in English, means storm and stress. Storm, storm, right? We have another word, brainstorm, right? It means a storm in your brain, stress, pressure. Okay, and first literary celebrity means, literary means an adjective of literature. We have another word, literate, means knowing language, especially reading and writing. So Goethe became a literary celebrity due to this novel. Okay, and sensational is an adjective. Now we can even read and get the idea about Frankenstein. Even that Frankenstein, this book applied this novel, saying that Frankenstein, this monster, learned how to be a human by reading this book. Okay, turmoil is a good word. Romanticism. I guess this word you need to practice. It's not romanticism. It is romanticism. Adolescent means teenager. Adolescence. CENCE. SE. Means the period. Turmoil means disturbance. 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 Chaos, right? Mass. The same meaning. Second paragraph, obscurity, right? As a noun, and a legal apprentice. Legal means lawful, means related to law. And disciple is the, disciple, DISCIPLE. We have a master, 师父, disciple, 这个门徒. And here apprentice, very similar meaning. Be engaged to, a friend of his, means one of his friends. Ensuing means the following, the next, triangle, right? Love really, people really scared of triangle relationships, right? Because this is really painful for everyone. And explore the possibility of suicide means he thought about killing himself. The possibility of killing himself before moving past. Moving past means move over his pain, his infatuation, crush, CRUSH. Acquaintance, acquaintant. We have acquainted, ACQUAINTED. Be acquainted with means be familiar with someone. Here, acquaintance is the person. Okay, cathartic. We have cathar, CHATHAR. Cathar is it means pure. How to say pure? It's more like a pilgrim. Pilgrim means believe in God purely believe in God, purely believe in Christianity or Roman Catholic, and they believe the only God is their Jesus, the Bible. However, here, cathartic original meaning is to make someone, to have diarrhea. Diarrhea 就是腹泻，所以这是腹泻的药。But here is an adjective, means empty your feeling, means let your feeling, painful feeling, find a way out. Refresh means regain energy as if. Be careful. This is subjunctive mood. 这是一个假设语态。Be entitled to. Very often used. Be qualified to. Be given to a name. Something like this. Disproportionate to. With no proportion means ratio. Proportionate. To, be proportionate to 与什么什么成正比 and here is disproportionate to. Size here means the volume, means pages. Closure is here means ending. Europe's collective means all the people. Consciousness, a wound means hurt. It means we can say their painful memory. Probably they at the time, they are late 18th century, they all had the same feeling. However, Goethe wrote the novel to let them release their emotion, however also brought up their painful memories. This is what I think. Next paragraph, stem from, originate from, start from, begin from, okay, dated back. A rash of means a series of, series. Imitative, imitate means to copy. It's a spark here means more like a flame, flame, flame. Mine, mine full of gunpowder, so easy to get flamed, to ignite it, 就是被点燃。Far-reaching means profound, profound, right? 深远的影响。Everyone could now burst forth means really burst out. Cried, we say cried out. Burst. Be careful with their own exaggerated demands. Means your demand will never enough, never is endless. You always is like making money. Nobody think that money is enough. Always wants to, have more than they have. Unsatisfied passion, right? The same, and imaginary suffering. It's just thinking that they're the most painful person in the world, putting themselves into a very deep depression, right? We're thinking of that. That all comes from what? It all comes from what I think is too peaceful. Means got nothing to do. So they start to think some ridiculous things. Okay, this is what I think. When you focus on something, you really focus on something. You emphasize, you have a passion on it, that you will never feel bored, and you will feel never, feel never sad, and you gain your energy. You know your existence, your meaning of existence in this world. This is what I think. Prime, be prime for here, be major for. Okay, span means a period. Stifle, we have different words for stifle. Choke. Suffocate, suffocate, smother, smother, they all mean the same thing. Neoclassicism, okay, subjectivity means based on our own opinion without ever seeing the same thing from different angles. Morbid, morbid means abnormal, means sick. Okay, and the last sentence, it explores the limits of such language. It means it to the maximum, to the possible limits means to the maximum, how far it can go. It kind of promote people to say yes to suicide. And this is actually against the norm, NORM, 道德. So it push the norm to the limit. So kind of negative reflection here, okay? So Sorrows of Young Werther, I hope if you're not mature enough, don't read it, because it will make you feel really sad, thinking that you are the most painful person, saddest person in this world, saddest person in this world, however you're not, okay? So maybe wait until you're more mature and read the novel from a different point of views, kind of appreciate how Goethe wrote the novel instead of it trying to imitate or putting, trying to think you are the major role in the book, in the novel. Don't think that way, okay? So see you next time. Okay, goodbye.